Hi, it's Sylvester, and I describe myself as a pansexual asexual. Now, I have said this before, so you might know what I mean by that, but in case you don't, basically, asexuals, there are different types of asexuals. There are asexuals who do not experience any kind of sexual attraction to anyone, and then there are asexuals who are just people who do not enjoy the act of sex and who do not desire sexual activity. And I am the latter. I do experience sexual attraction. I am attracted to people of all genders, hence why I consider myself to be a pansexual, but I'm asexual in that I don't enjoy or want or yearn for sexual activity, sexual stuff, sex itself, not my thing, not super into it, never really enjoyed it. Maybe some of that has to do with sexual trauma, but even before I experienced sexual trauma, I just was never really drawn to sex as an activity to partake in. You know what I mean? So I, as I said, am a pansexual, meaning I am sexually attracted to people of all genders. I'm attracted to non binaries, I'm attracted to women, but I am also attracted to men. And it kind of varies who I'm most attracted to. Like at certain points in my life, I've been more attracted to women than to other types of people. And at times in my life, I've been attracted to men more than I've been attracted to other genders. But right now in my life, I'm not really sure where I am. I feel like I'm kind of just like directly in the middle where I have an equal amount of attraction towards women and men and non binary people. But there have been times where I have been more attracted to men than to other genders. And as a trans man, this has caused me to have a little bit of distress, I suppose. It's caused me a little bit of I don't know if distress is the right word, but it's caused a bit of confusion, I guess, because there's this thing when you're a trans man where if you are attracted to men, people will say, well, why did you bother coming out as a man? If you just wanted to date men, why didn't you just stay a woman? And first of all, I've never been a woman. That is something we should get clear. As a trans man, I may have lived much of my life thinking that I was a woman and being seen as a woman, but I've never really been a woman. I've always been a man on the inside. But like I get where these people are coming from, where it's like if you are attracted to men, that means you must be a woman. And like that is how our society teaches people to think. It's a very binary and heteronormative way of thinking, where men are attracted to women, women are attracted to men, there are only two genders, and homosexuality is the exception and not the rule. And that is obviously a very close minded way to look at the world, and it's not how I look at the world. I understand that sexual orientation and gender identity are two different things. So you can absolutely be a trans man who is attracted to other men. You can be a trans woman who's attracted to women. You could be a non binary who's attracted to non binary people. Like, being a man, being a trans man, doesn't mean that you have to be attracted to women. And this feels obvious to me now that I say it out loud, but for a long time I fought with myself, and I still kind of do fight with myself a little bit on the inside and feel a little bit of shame when I talk about having attractions towards men, because there is part of me that feels like it emasculates me, like it invalidates my gender identity. Like if I'm attracted to men, that must mean that secretly deep down I'm a woman, and that's just obviously not true. But that's how our society thinks, and it's hard for me to not internalize that at least a little bit. And so I have been thinking about this recently, and I don't really have there's no real point to this video, honestly. I don't really know where I was going with this other than just wanting to point it out. But I am a trans man and I am attracted to people of all different genders. I am very much so attracted to women, trust me, I absolutely am, but I can't deny that throughout my life I have been very attracted to men as well and non binary people. But, like, I can't deny my attraction to men. And a lot of people think that that's not possible. They think that if I'm attracted to men, that must mean that I'm a woman. And it's just very close minded and it's very inaccurate, and that's just not how the world works. Obviously, men can be attracted to other men. Obviously, queerness exists. Obviously, your gender identity is not the same thing as your sexual orientation. Obviously, it all seems so obvious. But I can't help but absorb what society tells me is normal and what society tells me is right. And since I was born, society has told me that if I'm attracted to men, I must be a woman. And I feel like that's a large part of the reason why it took me so long to come to terms with the fact that I'm a man. Because I kind of knew that I was a man for a while before I actually came out as trans, but I just kept second guessing myself. And I felt really weird because it felt like most trans people just like kind of know. You know, they just know. And for me, it wasn't really like that. It took years of me thinking like, am I a man? No, I don't really think I'm a, but like, am I a man? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I might be a man, but like, I don't know. Am I a man? You know, like it took a long time of me questioning my gender identity before I finally realized like, yeah, I am a man. I am absolutely a man. But like I second guess myself a lot. And a big part of that is because I had so much attraction towards men, and a part of me felt like like I don't know. Like again, it sounds silly saying it out loud now, but part of me did really feel like if I was attracted to men, that must mean that I'm a woman. And again, that's so stupid. It is so dumb to say that out loud. I realize how dumb I sound, but at the time it didn't feel dumb. It felt like that was just normal. Men are attracted to women, women are attracted to men, and if you are attracted to men, then you are a woman. Like, and I also knew that it would be a lot easier to get men if I were to quote unquote remain a woman. Like, as a woman, I feel like maybe this isn't necessarily true, but I felt like it was easier to get men to like me in like a romantic sexual way when they thought that I was a woman, rather than now that I realize I'm a man, I feel like it's harder to get men because a lot of men are extremely homophobic. A lot of men are just simply not gay or bisexual or pansexual. There's just like a lot of men who are just simply not as boy crazy as they are girl crazy. And so it was easier to get the attention and the affection of men when I thought that I was a girl and when other people thought that I was a girl. Now, that's not entirely true. There are some men who have expressed their interest towards me, and you know, since coming out as a man, there have been some men who have shown their interest in me, which I find flattering and all. But, you know, no relationship has ever really happened because, again, I'm asexual. I don't really like sex, and it's very hard to find people out there who are asexual. Like, you might think there's a lot of asexuals, but there really aren't that many of us, and it's kind of frustrating because it's like, why can't I just find somebody who wants to love me but doesn't want to have sex with me? Like, is it really that tall of an order? I guess it kind of is, but whatever. Yeah, but like as somebody who thought that I was a woman, that was even an even taller order, I feel like, because the men who liked me specifically for sexual reasons because they were trying to get in my pants. And so maybe it's easier to be an asexual man than it is to be an asexual woman. I don't know. That's not what this video is about. It doesn't matter. The point is, I am comfortable being a man who is attracted to other men. I am. And I'm proud of that fact. I really, really am. And sometimes I feel awkward about being proud of that because I feel like it does kind of put people off sometimes. Like, I think it does confuse people a little bit sometimes because, again, there is this common idea of if you are attracted to men, why didn't you just stay as a woman, you know, quote unquote. But it's possible to be a man who's attracted to men, obviously. Gay people exist, queer people exist, bisexual people exist, pansexual people exist. So like obviously it's fine and it's okay and it happens. But part of me also feels like maybe a bit of the reason why people are confused when I express interest towards men is because I tend to be more on the mask side of things personality wise. I mean, I view myself as a lot more femme than I think other people do. Like when I think of myself as being a relatively femme guy, but I feel like the way that I come across is a lot more mask than I intend, and so people get confused because again, if you're a man who's attracted to other men, you're expected to be femme. You're expected to be more on the feminine side. And so people again, it kind of confuses people because it's like if you're attracted to men, why don't you act more feminine? Uh, and like masculine men can be attracted to other men. It happens. I mean, there's this whole mask for mask culture within the gay community that's like clearly it's a thing. Masculine men can be attracted to men. And yeah, so I don't know. I think that's pretty much all I had to say, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.